Hey there, Heather Ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another In the Pocket Bowling Tournament for 1991. We are doing the quarterfinals in this video, and this is one match, winner take all. We have our first matchup by randomization is going to be Don Moser and Del Ballard, two legendary players. Moser, hey, how he got here? He's been heroic and Pete Weber, so two decent guys. Ballard, how he got here? He's been Lawrence and Webb. So here we go. One match winner took all. Don Moser averages 212, Ballard at 214. See their stuff and all that. Moser goes first, and he throws a 223. That's a 7. That's a spare. Ballard throws a 661, and that's a spare too. 13 would be a strike, but back one frame. I guess they give him the 6 and the 1. I don't know how they did it. Second frame, he throws a 614. That's 11. That's a strike. Moser throws a 465. That's 15. That's enough for a strike. On 3, he throws a 143. That's a spare. He only gets 8 points for that. Ballard throws a 244. That's 10. That's enough for a strike on the board. Ballard throws a 212. That's a 5. And unfortunately for him, it wasn't the 311. And he will have to get an open frame. Moser, can he take advantage? A 114? No, he can't. He also throws the 411, and that's a spare. And it's an open frame. So Ballard up by 9-4. On 5, he throws a 211, a 7-1 out of the pocket chart. Ballard now can take advantage. He throws a 656, which is 17, but pair of sixes means back one frame, which means that his 7-2 on 4 will count. So it's 84-74 through 5. On 6, he throws a 242. That's an 8, and that's a spare. Moser throws a 635. That's a 14. That's a K on the board. Moser on 7 throws 664. That's good. That's 16. That's too high, but double sixes means he goes back a frame, so that's good. Ballard throws a 621. That's a spare with 9 pins, so that's 19. On 8, he throws a 642. That's a K on the board. And Moser throws a 155, pair of 5 back 2 frames, so his 6 frame score will be counted, not a 7 frame. So he's throwing a turkey, gobble gobble. On 9, he throws a 434, that's an 11, that's a strike. Ballard throws a 165, that's a strike, but they're going to let him go first in the 10th. Ballard throws a 254, that's a strike, that's 11 points. Second ball, he throws a 252, which is a 9. He has to make a spare, and he does for 202, which isn't half bad, considering 2 open frames. Moser throws a 113, that's a 5, that's a spare. Well, even if there's a strike, he's going to lose. And he throws a strike, and guess what? He loses because it's only worth 20 points. So the final score, wow. Moser 201, Ballard 202. So Dal Ballard wins by 1 solitary pin. Although I don't know why. I mean, it was all that. But I guess Ballard, because he threw a strike on his first ball in 10, and Moser threw and only hit 7 pins, giving him 27 for the 8th. If you throw more pins, one more pin, it would have been a 202 tie. But Dal Ballard wins with a 202. So Ballard's 202 will be in play for the semifinals. So now we go to the next matchup, and we go to Monticelli and Steelsmith. Amelto Monticelli versus Steelsmith. Rick Steelsmith. So Amelto Monticelli a 218 average against Rick Steelsmith a 214 with the America motif. Let's see if Monticelli can do something. First frame, he throws a 115. That's a 7. That's would be good for a spare, but it's a 511, which means that's a 7, and then a 2 makes 9. Steelsmith throws a 553. That's a K on everyone's board. Who does it? Nice job. Second frame, He throws a 3 double 5, pair of fives, back 2 frames, but strike. Monticelli throws a 2 2 3. That's a 7, and at least he gets a spare out of it. Third frame, he throws a 5 6 2. That's 13. That's a K. Steele Smith throws a 2 6 4. That's a strike. That's 12 points. On 4, he throws a 6 2 1. He just missed by a pin to go 4 straight. Monticelli throws a 1 1 5 again. That's terrible. Because the 5 1 1 is 7 and 2. And of course, you're going to have a spare. On 5, he throws a 2 5 6. A 13. That's a strike. Steele Smith throws a 5 3 2. That is a K on everyone's board. It's looking good. On 6, he throws a 4 2 6. You thought I jinxed him, but I didn't. That's a strike. Monticelli throws a 3 6 1. That's a 10. That's a K on everyone's board. On 7, he throws a 2 2 3. That's a spare. Rick throws a 4 4 6. That's 14. That's a K on everyone's board. Gobble gobble. That's his second turkey of the day. Steelsmith throws a 2 5 1. That's a spare. You'll have to throw another ball. Monticelli throws a 4 5 1. That's a 10. That's a strike. Then he throws a 1 2 1. So I think he's basically, but somehow he gets a spare out of it. Steelsmith throws a 1 3 1. That's a strike. And I think Monticelli will need strikes. Monticelli will go first on 10 because he's trailing. He throws a 1 6 1. And he bottoms out with a 171. Well, Monticelli, his path to the final 8, he beat Husted and Arnold. And Steel Smith beat Mike Miller and Parker Bone, which was huge. Parker Bone. So Steel Smith's basically won with 2 something. But remember, points matter to determine who your semifinal opponent is. He throws a 3 3 1. That's a spare. So he's going to throw 220. Well, he's going to throw 230 something because he can get like 6 frames. He throws a 6 1 4. He throws 10 pins. That's 237. So by a score of 237 to 171, Steelsmith crushes Monticelli in the fine powder and wins the match. Monticelli with 2 open frames. Steelsmith had no open frames. He had 8 strikes. That'll do it at 237. Now we go to the third matchup, and that will be Williams and Palumbi. Ron Williams and Ron Palumbi, who will face each other. Ron Williams 217, Palumbi at 213. The Battle of the Rons. I do Ron, I do Ron. And it's a little bit touchy for me because my father Ron passed away. That name always gets on my case. Anyway, Ron Williams, he beat every man writing Moscato and Solins. Palumbi beat Kaufman and Couch. So for the first time, he faces someone without the last name starting with the letter C. So Williams strikes first, and he'll throw a 2 5 1. That's 8 pins, and then he gets the spare. Palumbi throws a 5 3 4. That's 12. That's a K. Second frame. He throws a 2 1 4, so he spares. Williams throws a 5 2 1. That's a spare. Only 8 pins on the first one, so that will only give him 18 for the first. On 3, he throws a 2 6 5. That's 13. That's a strike. Palumbi throws a 3 3 2. That's an 8 with a spare. On 4, he throws a 1 2 1. Oh, well, he gets a spare. The out of pocket chart actually works for him. Williams then throws a 6 3 1. That's a strike. That's 10. Next, he throws a 2 3 6 1. That's a triple. That's a turkey. Gobble gobble. Palumbi throws a 3 5 5. Unfortunately for him, a pair of fives means back 2 frames, so that means his third frame score is what he gets on 5. Otherwise, that would have been 13 for a strike. On 6, he throws a 4 6 2. That's a K on everyone's board. Williams throws a 1 2 2, and that's bad because not only does that ruin his strike streak, but it's an open frame, which means Palumbi can sneak up. On 7, Williams throws a 6 1 5. He gets a K on the board. Palumbi throws a triple threes, but 3 of a kind is not good to him. A 7 2. If it was a 9, it would have been a spare, but triple threes, bad luck. On 8, He throws a 2-2-1. That's a 5. That is a 7-2. And that's a split. Williams throws a 5-4-3-2-1. Boom. That's a strike. On 9, he throws 6 double ones. That's an open frame again. The 6-1-1. If it was any other combination with 8, that's a spare. Palumbi throws a 2-4-5. That's a strike. He pretty much has to strike everything out. If throws a 2-4-4, that's 10. That's enough for a strike. Next ball throws a 5-5-4. That's a strike. He's at 180. What is his last number? A strike. So 190. But practically all Williams needs to do is spare and get 2 pins. So, yeah, he's 4 straight strikes, but Palumbi's back-to-back open frames didn't help Williams. Throws a 5-1-3. That's a spare. Ew, he's going to beat Palumbi because all he practically needs is a pin. He gets 8. And by a score of 197 to 190, Ron Williams will move on to the semifinals. Kind of pathetic when you got like Moser, who had a 201, and he's not going to qualify. Williams has a 197, but he wins. Both with 2 open frames, but despite Palumbi striking 4 straight strikes, it was just basically when he did the open frames. And Williams survives 197, 190. And now it's up to Westlake and Gobble to end the thing. So yeah, so Westlake and Gobble. Where's Gobble? Brian Gobble. Tony Westlake a 215 against Brian Gobble 214. So as of right now, it is Williams versus Steel Smith. The lowest would be Williams, the highest would be Steel Smith, and then Ballard's in the middle. So if anyone bowls a 240 or above, they face Williams, which means it'll be Steel Smith and Ballard for sure. If the winner throws between 203 and 236, it will be Williams, Steel Smith, and the winner will face Ballard. If the person throws 198, 199, 200, 201, they'll be third, and it'll be Williams, Steel Smith, and then they'll face Ballard. And then if the winner throws less than 197, which I doubt highly, then they'll face Steel Smith, and Ballard will face Williams. Here we go. Westlake throws a 2-3-4, 5-6-7-8. That's a spare. Gobble throws a 6-6-1. That's a spare as well. Gobble throws a 4-6-4. That's 14. That's a strike. Westlake throws a 5-5-3, which would be good for 13, which would have been a strike, but they call it a 5, a 7-2. On 3, he throws a 6-4. That's 14. That's a strike. Gobble throws a 4-5-6. Get your kicks. That's a K. Because that's 15. Gobble throws a 2-6-6. Double 6 means he goes back a frame, meaning his score for the third frame is what will be on 4. And that's a turkey by Gobble. Gobble, gobble. 2 corner phrase. Westlake throws a 5-1-6. He gets a strike as well. On the 5, he throws a 1-6-3. That's 10. That's enough for a strike. He gets a turkey. Gobble, gobble. Gobble throws a 6-6-1. Good enough for a strike. Pair of sixes means back of frame, but he's on a strike thing, so he gets a strike. On 6, on 6 he throws a 4. He throws a 4-6-3, and that's 13. That's enough for a strike. Westlake throws a 5-6-1. That's a strike himself. On 7, he throws 6-6-5. That's a strike because the pair of sixes back of frame, and he's on a strike streak. Gobble throws a 2-5-4. That's 11. That's a K on everyone's board. On 8, he throws a 3-4-5, 6-7-8. That's 12. That's now a 6-pack, right? Oh no, that's 7. Westlake throws 5 double 4s. So yeah, look at this. Look at this battle. Westlake throws a 1-3-2. He fumbles. He's the first. He had 6 straight. Gobble throws a 5-6-3. That's a strike. Westlake is trailing, so he'll have to go first. On 10, he throws a 6-2-6. That's a spare. And I don't think he's going to get enough points. 234. A 234, which would be pretty good to get second place. But unfortunately, because Gobble's thrown more points, he can't win. So Gobble on 10 throws triple ones just to rub it in. And he's going to throw a 260 something. Holy smokes, Gobble's thrown pretty well. And he'll throw a 7, and it's a 265. So Gable throws a 265. Well, he beat Forkel and Mike Albee, whereas Westlake took care of Bayer and Branham. But yeah, Gable throws a 265. So that's amazing. So the semifinals is going to be Williams versus Gable. So Williams will throw first. Ron Williams will throw first against Gable. And the second semifinal will be Steel Smith. So it will be Steel Smith versus Ballard. And they will go first because Gable was the last one to throw. So Ballard will face Steel Smith and Williams will throw to Gable. Of course, the final will be a best of 3. Yeah, so the finals will be best of 3. So if you win 2, you're safe. If it's 1-1, then we go to the third frame for the win. So Gable looking pretty impressive himself. Throwing 243, 268, 265. Williams thrown for 232, 224, and 197. So he's gotten worse, but he keeps winning. Ballard's thrown for 257, 244, and 202. So he's getting worse. And Steel Smith has thrown 256, 247, 237. So 3 of the 4, Gable being the exception, have actually been worse and worse each game, but still have won. So that's kind of weird. But yeah, Gable might be the odds on favorite here. And just a reminder that the top 2 in this tournament will not be allowed to compete in any other subsequent years for fairness. So that's what will happen. Anyhow, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.